medical advice will be given at the workplace.
Especially World Mental Health Day 2024. That will be one of the talking points of the program. But right now, we take this quick breather. When we'll come back, the papers are in. Stay with us. All right, I'll be kickstarting this morning headline segment from the front page of The Punch. The Punch newspaper. And it's about what is going on in town. It's public knowledge right now that it appears like there is an increase, official increase, especially from NNPCL retail stations as well. 1,030 naira in some places. And you know what that does to us as a people are the sound of an increase. Even those that might not necessarily have to increase their pump price immediately, pump price are adjusted. So it appears in Nigeria today, there is hardly a place that you can see a liter of fuel to buy below 1,000 naira. And that is where we are right now. In 15 months, 180 naira, or 16 months rather, 180 naira, increased to at least 1,030 naira. That is the nation that we live in, without anything concrete. All rabbles and just explanations and complaints, and that is where we are right now. And so the Punch says 1,030 naira per liter price. NLC demands a reversal as fuel queues resurface. That is the issue. And, the rider here says petrol nears 1,300 naira per liter in states as NNPC hikes pump price again. APC opposition clash on what exactly? You might want to pick up a copy of this paper. And below that, you see a picture associated, with Lagos. And it has to say motorists queuing for fuel at filling stations in Abuja and Lagos after the petrol price hike on Wednesday. And these are the issues as well. 999 naira, 998 naira on, display board of one NNPC retail station. But then sometimes you see something different. The display, electronic display, platform of filling stations might read a particular figure, but when you get to the pump, you know that the price is different. Sometimes even at the electronic dashboard of that particular pump, there is a particular price, but the fair attendant will tell you, okay, forget this thing you are seeing. This is how much you are selling. And this is exactly what we are seeing at this time. But then if there's going to be an increase in price, why should I be queue? All right, there is an increase in price. What's the queue for? Is it because of panic buying or what?
I mean, that's what we talk to availability, accessibility, and affordability of petrol. The fact that it is expensive is one thing, and the other part is people have to queue to buy this expensive product. In Abuja, we saw queues, in different, especially at the NNPC stations, and people said they didn't even know that it was 1,030 naira until they got to in front of the attendant that would be attending to them, and the person was like, it's no longer 860, it's now 1,030 naira. And I remember reading a report of someone who said she got livid because why would you wait till I've queued all the way and now you're telling me I have to pay maybe 230 naira more to get this product? Why don't you just put it up and let people know, okay, this is how much you sell. If I want to buy,
this particular station that is on the front page of the Punch, the dashboard is still reading, or the electronic board rather, is reading 998 naira.
And I think this is where the FCCPC should come in the same way they talked about supermarkets at the time, that you do not display product at a particular price, and until I get to where I'm supposed to pay, you're telling me, oh, the product is higher.
Or some display a different figure at the shelf, and then you're about to pay.
Exactly what I'm saying. So if you're going after the supermarket, I feel the fueling station also should be.
In this case, NNPC
Yes.
filling stations.
It's really, really alarming, and it's a sad situation for us as a country.
I'm telling you, the question is, what more? And I think I've asked this question. We are at the risk of sounding like a broken record right now. What more can Nigeria take? And if you flip it over, the answer is, what more can Nigeria not take? You know, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One might want to say, what more can Nigerians take? Why are you adding to the burden? But then the question is, in reality, what more can Nigerians not take? We are taking it already.
So if the more the Nigerians adjust.
Yeah, we just expand to
the fire put under them.
You know,
the more the fire is being increased.
I'm telling you, just trying to
understand why an NNPCL station will be selling at over 1,000 naira. And you know, we had Dr. Paul Alaji yesterday, and he said that by March we should be looking at buying petrol 1,300 naira.
I wouldn't want to mention the figure.
Just in October, NNPC station is selling above 1,000 naira. So we can as well call him a prophet.
And we have a local refinery working, and others that are moribund. By the way, I think I've even lost the count of the deadline given to the up and grateful nature of the Port Harcourt refinery. That refinery, billions and billions of Nigerian people's money sank into that place. And there are still people that are still holding office in Nigeria, having meetings, having photo ops, seeing the president, having meetings every day without anything. Everything they have said has failed so far, and they are still keeping their job. That's the kind of nation you and I live in. And here, Buhari didn't approve Emefiele's Naira redesign. CBN ex-deputy governor, you know, I think maybe it's high time they invite the Buhari himself, you know, to be part of these proceedings. By the way, he doesn't have immunity again, and he's a Nigerian, and he was in charge at a point, you know, to come and say, did you approve this thing or not? These are the issues. Now, 20-year-old Ogun fund seeker drowns in hotel pool. This is fun taken too far, by the way. And, you know, the question is, where were the pool attendants? Because there are professionals who are supposed to be manning pools, you know, where people come for, you know, to have fun. This is death. Here, we should take caution. And Edo PDP APC clash stalls poll materials inspection. And top strip, Senate faults governor's fresh move on local government allocations. Tinubu government borrowed $6.45 billion from World Bank. That's a report, $6.45 billion from World Bank. And here, North Central PDP caucus presents Damagum's replacement, October 24. And Rivers CP visit raised local government secretariat as probe begins. Again, Rivers Commissioner of Police visit raised local government secretariat as probe begins. You know, this thing is giving a vibe of whatever the hoodlums talks wants to do, let them do it. We'll probe it later. If you understand what I'm saying. Let them have a few days. If you want to kill. If you want to raise. If you want to do violence, do it. We'll come later and inspect and do a probe. That's exactly what has happened here. I'm talking about the Senate president. I saw a particular quote attributed to him yesterday, and it, you know, it's either you can leave it or you just laugh it off. A particular talking about Senate President Godswill Akpabio, former governor of Akwa State, you know, multi-time minister, a multiple-time senator, two-time governor. Now, where he was talking about the Nigerian youth and say they should be patriotic, and the love of the country should be above the love of money, and they should stop jackpying. You know, Nigeria, that some of them too is because of the love for the country that made them stay here. You know, over to you, Evelyn. By the way, exactly that was how the quote went. When Akpabio said it was the love for the country that made them to still stay here. It's your turn. You have the floor.
I also have one statement from Senator Akpabio.
Is it that you can leave it or you just laugh it off?
Can we exchange it?
I'm telling you.
And we will know whether he himself will not jackpot. By the way, they jackpot every now and then. It's just that because they have a national assignment, they have to come back to the country.
Somebody that Nigeria has been taking care of since 2007 said it's the law for the country. You know.
Even Mr. President jackpots every now and then.
I'm telling you. He's on another one now.
It's another jackpot where he will come back. He will jackpot that. For them, it's always jackpot and jackpot that.
When he jackpot that, he will say it's the law for the country that has made him to stay here. That's a Tinubu that has been, the Senate president at least should, I'm telling you, this one is for my good heart now, should possibly put a call across the basket and Bovey. I think he needs some minutes as one of these biggest, comedy nights.
And it's going to be a shutdown.
I'm telling you, Haba.
All right, let's move over to Daily Trust newspaper this morning. On Daily Trust, NLC demands petrol price hike reversal with triple riders here. FG denies involvement as NNPCL adjusts cost above 1,000 naira per litre. It is unbearable, says citizens. And new pricing unfavorable to us, says Ipman. That's on the front page of Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And of course, you can see the queues there. And also the price they are selling, 1,050 naira at this particular, at this particular fueling station. Concerns over hurdles to mental health care in Nigeria. And, we mentioned that earlier when we started the show that there are lots of concerns around mental health. And a lot of people think people are taken to the extreme, this mental health care thing. They think it's supposed to be a Gen Z thing. When a millennial says, oh, my mental health is at risk, or my mental health, I don't know what's right. What are you saying?
Millennial? People will take a millennial seriously if they say that.
But a Gen Z, no, they believe it's a Gen Z language.
That's what I'm saying.
As a millennial, you should be used to knowing how to adjust to situations.
Yeah, and that's the reason why if a millennial will talk about mental health, people will take such a person serious because they know that before he or she can speak up, that means something is seriously wrong. But when Gen Z talk about mental health, please continue.
Well, we should take everybody serious, by the way. All right, away from that, still on Daily Trust newspaper this morning, woman, 4 grandchildren die after taking part. There's still been investigation as to what actually caused their deaths. Woman, 4 grandchildren die after taking part. FG finalizes plan to zero VAT on pharmaceuticals. What impact will this have on the prices of drugs? We hope it's going to be a major and huge, impact on the prices of drugs. That's what Nigerians want at this time. Plateau LG poll, voting extended amid hitches. Top corner, Daily Trust newspaper this morning, PDP crisis. Party leaders clash over Atiku, Wike, and NNPCL, NPA, NAT, 507 others score low in transparency, accountability. Bandits kill 11, abduct others in Katsina communities. Well, there will be a day we do not get to hear of bandits having a field day in whatever location they are in. It's time to root them out and make them pay for all the atrocities they have been perpetrating for years. But by the way, that will be all from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
All right, from the Daily Trust, we move to The Guardian. The Guardian newspaper for today, and it has this bold headline, World Mental Health Day. You can see it's on almost all the major newspapers today because it's one that we have to take seriously. And when the word mental health is mentioned, it doesn't have to be what comes to people's mind is madness. Okay, that means, that person is mad, but doesn't have to be about madness. And there are many things that can be discussed, and that's why we'll be talking about it today. World Mental Health Day, frustration, hardship, sink more Nigerians into depression. I think that's very, very true. You have the picture of the brain, just a sketch of the brain there. Health facilities see 200% rise in mental cases, and life expectancy is 56. Standard of living, multidimensionally poor people, 63% poverty being the cause, and social problems and inflation at 32%. Natural disaster, which is being caused by, of course, as the word sounds, natural disaster. Flood victims, 1.8 million. Unemployment rate, 5.3%. Talking about the factors that contribute to mental health illnesses. And more Nigerians borrow to feed, not to buy clothes, not to do business, just to feed. And, you know, very instructive that The Guardian has put this latest one, you know, the picture of the nozzle with a drop of oil, 1,030 naira per liter, might contribute to people's stress. Again, you know, I think almost everybody can resonate with it. These particular explanations talking about inflation, food flood victims, natural disaster, poverty, the standard of living that has dropped, and the life expectancy that has been put at 56 in Nigeria, and the new increase in pump price worth, you know, time to be alive, actually. Now, Army detains general over theft of palliative rice and military equipment. Army general, you know, over theft of palliative rice and military equipment. All right, that's. Will I say that's good to hear? It's not good to hear, but it's good that such a person has been apprehended. Now, PDP, NWC splits over internal crisis. All the best to them. And confusion as Senate insists on full local government autonomy. Now, Emefiele violated Naira redesign procedure. Ex-CBN chief testifies. And Ayedatiwa sacks aid over alleged 30 million Naira bribe and others probe. And bottom strip, Edo talks disrupt PDP inspection of beavers as INEC shift inspection of materials. The issue is, at this time, with all these talks, you know, roaming free, hoodlums roaming free in River State, where is the police? Now, the election has come and gone. There is a duty by the police to still protect lives and properties and make the people to feel safe. Are the police, I mean, have they not returned to their work? Because it's looking like that state is just hoping to all kind of shenanigans and, you know, thuggery and hoodlums, roaming free and all of it. But then, well, and the CP was there to inspect, or will be there, you know, either way. More pains for Nigerians as PMS hits 1,000 naira per liter, threatens survival. I think that's it. Our existence and survival as a people, I think is being threatened right now. It's not even about prosperity or people flourishing in one kind of way or the other. It's people's existence, and leaders should know, as in, let me put it in this way, being alive of Nigerians is being threatened right now.
Exactly. It is what it is. I actually saw an interview with former Minister Rotimi Amechi, where he spoke to the fact that Nigerians, you know, he has said it before, and he kind of reiterated it, that Nigerians are very docile people.
Already.
You do not just accept everything your leaders are throwing at your doorstep. You're not reacting. You're not letting them know that you're not down with this. You do not accept this. You just accept you're adjusting. And he said, if as a person, as big as he is, he finds it difficult to buy diesel, to buy fuel, how much more someone who just makes how much in a month? I know that, okay, Minister Amechi or former Governor Amechi, you know, he has so many hats that he's wearing or that he wore. We might as well call him, oh, he was there at the time. So why are you all of a sudden, because you are out of there, you now think you have the Messiah to tell them what to do? While you were there, why didn't you
they get out of office,
work?
They find their voice with the people.
But I'd like to take the message and leave the messenger, really. But Nigerians need to voice out and let the people at the ends of affairs know that this is no longer working. You asked the question earlier on, what can Nigerians not take? What can Nigerians take? And on the flip side, what can Nigerians not take? I think it's high time we let this leaders know what we can take and what we cannot take.
When you try to voice out, you know, just like that you say, that's when you see the intelligence community coming up and say, audit, if you gather in a particular place, you are being sent by the opposition, you want to overthrow the government. And of course, you know, we have intelligence that you're gathering, we threatening the existence of democratic rule in Nigeria. Right now, that Nigerians' lives are being threatened by policy, no intelligence report.
Of course, no intelligence in Rivers State with all the disruptions going on. no intelligence in Edo State with all that is going on there. So why is it that when it has to do with
just try and gather and say you want to gather,
then the police all of a sudden their intelligence unit is at wake? I think we need to do more as a country. The police as an institution needs to do more. Right. All the security agencies, they need to do more. You're protecting the lives and properties of people. Right. You are not supposed to be against the people. And please, Mr. President, the finance minister, the CBN governor, the NNPCL GMD, whatever it is you can do to ease the pains of people, let us do it. This is getting too much. A lot of people are going through a lot. We are talking about World Mental Health Day today, and you do not want to know how much people have had to deal with in the past year, how much their mental health have had to be deteriorated, and people are just living on a thread. People are at the verge of committing suicide. People are deep into depression. Please let us do the right thing. This is our country. We have nowhere else to go to. No matter how many people jackpot, this is still home. Nigeria is still home, and we have to make it work. And that's where we draw the curtains for the newspaper review segment for today. We'll go for the short break. When we come back, we will be speaking to the World Mental Health Day. All you need to know about it and how you can make your mental health, better. Do not go anywhere. I'm Morning Spring. We'll be right back.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
and your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
On this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Badamasi Adegoke Adelabu was a prominent figure in Ibadan politics and Western region before Nigeria's independence. He was a key founder of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, a political party that held lofty the torch of liberty for the two West African countries. He carved a niche for himself as a wordsmith and a creative speaker. The nickname Kwenkele Mens was a natively corrupted version of Peculiar Mess, his bombastic English language style often used to score proceedings at the parliament. The author of Africa in Ebullition, a handbook of freedom for Nigerian nationalists, was Nigeria's Federal Minister of Natural Resources and Social Services between 1955 and 1956. He died in an auto crash on the 25th March 1958 at the age of 42. Western Spring Television identifies Adegoke Adelabu as a watershed character in history.
Arrested, affected, sound, found. What do we see? What do we say? Flowing from a spring, a fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever expounding current events, traveling down from the business gist to the globally arising happenings, to the sports news, to the bittersweet infos. Guided transmission, even diffusion, vast and fast, detailed facts are fled. Within seconds, nuggets of life that flew across borders are fired. Stories short and long, wrapped in bundles of words, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Thank you for staying with us. The program and the conversation, as we said it, especially this first leg, is about mental health for today. And that is exactly what we are going to be talking about. The 10th of October every year has been set aside as a World Mental Health Day. So it's an annual event. And this year, that theme is so germane, and it's been set out mental health at work, more like prioritizing mental health at work. And that's the discussion for today. The World Health Organization, according to them, they are uniting with partners to highlight the vital connection between mental health and work. And safe, healthy working environment can act as a protective factor for mental health. Unhealthy conditions, including stigma, discrimination, and exposure to risk like harassment and other poor working conditions, can pose significant risk affecting mental health and overall quality of life, and consequently participation or productivity at work. With 60% of the global population in work, urgent action is needed to ensure work prevents a risk to mental health and protect and support mental health at work. These are the introductory message of the World Health Organization at this time. But in the house today, we have a very top professional who is going to be highlighting this discussion for us. He is Dr. Charles Ayodeji Abedide, a consultant psychiatrist with the University of Osun Teaching Hospital, Osun State University rather, Teaching Hospital here, Showell. Doctor, good morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
With us. Today is another commemoration of World Mental Health Day, 10th of October 2024. And the theme for this year, according to WHO, is mental health at workplace. How instructive is this year's theme, and how important is the discussion about mental health?
Well, thank you, the moderator.
Yeah.
And I want to thank this establishment and the Nigerian Medical Association and for this opportunity given to me to be here this morning. As I said, the theme for this year is time to prioritize mental health in the workplace. Well, we know that it's a very good topic and important at this time of the year, every 10th of October. Workplace and mental health is important, as we all know, that the stability of everybody's mental health will determine what we do. So the quality of what we achieve as a services or productivity will depend on how stable our mental health is. As we all know that even the whole body functions as is instructed by the brain. So also is the quality of what we do. So even at a government level, at a private level, at family level, the quality of what we achieve in life depends on how stable our mental health is.
Yeah, and the topic, not just about today, the discussion around mental health.
Yes.
How you are the professional here, a consultant psychiatrist. Thank you for the good work that you do, and all your colleagues as well. Now, the conversation around mental health, it appears is not that popular around here. And at the sound of the word mental health, averagely people will think you are talking about madness all of a sudden. So that's why I'm asking how popular it is and how important is it for us as a people, as Nigerians, especially at this time, to have conversation around our mental health.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Well, as you rightly said, mental health is an aspect of medicine that is not that popular, especially outside there, because since what people actually know about doctors are maybe you go to doctors when you have complaint like this place is paining me, and this place I'm not comfortable, I can't walk well, I can't see well. But when people now begin to talk about your feelings, your actions, your thoughts, people they don't know much about it. and the knowledge about mental health is low among the populace. So that's why most times people think it's something spiritual, something that is knowledge that is inaccessible to people. But because of the low understanding of this topic among our people, so it's very important we discuss it so that people can at least be aware of what mental health is all about. It's a thing that you cannot see. Nobody can see thoughts. Nobody can feel. Nobody can see feelings. So it is what we do, what we say, how we behave that actually will determine the nature of mental or the stability of mental health or the state of mental health at any point in time. So it's very important, and it's not that popular because people don't have knowledge. Knowledge about it is low in our community, and they think even people that have mental health challenges that are in the streets, pick papers, people think it's spiritual. Most of them, people run away from them instead of maybe getting close and trying to find a way to assist them. Yeah.
All right, since this year's theme is around mental health at the workplace, I'd like to ask you, Doctor, when exactly should an individual consider it an issue? Or let me put it this way, when do one know that my mental health is at risk? Because we have a lot of people throw the words around and say, oh, my mental health is at risk. Oh, my mental health. But as a professional, when exactly can one say, I do not think my mental health is 100% intact?
Okay, thank you so much. It's very, very easy to know. And importantly, mental health is an issue that in most times, people that have these challenges, they don't, most times, consider it an issue. In fact, most times, everybody thinks it's okay. Even people that are suffering from this illness, they believe nothing's wrong with them. They're okay. Even when they are having gross abnormality, gross misconduct, misbehavior, they still believe they are okay. So it is people around them, family members, relations, workmates, schoolmates, roommates, that will discover that something is wrong about this individual. Well, an individual may begin to suspect that there's a challenge in his mental state. One, when there's sleep difficulty, that person begins to have difficulty in falling asleep or maintaining good sleep, failure to have quality of sleep. For example, when we wake up in the morning, all of us, and we feel fully fresh, you know that you have slept well. But when you have slept for several hours, and you wake up and you feel that, oh, I've not slept. You're so weak, you're so, and people complain about what to do. Complain, maybe you are not happy, you are not around, you are lost in thoughts. Some people may be, if the illness gets far, nobody detects, they begin to hear voices of unseen people in clear consciousness, begin to be afraid in an unusual environment they have been living for years. That place, they begin to have sense of insecurity, become hypervigilant. They don't feel they are secured. They cannot eat freely, they hide. They have social withdrawal. They prefer to be alone than to be among people that they have been operating well before. And the family members begin to note when there's a sudden change in the behavior or actions of an individual. So they begin to notice something is wrong with this individual. But the individual may know, actually, but he may not know how to explain because the knowledge is not there. It's not good. It's not well among the masses. So it is somebody else who discovers that, okay, this is the way you are talking. We don't seem to understand what you are saying. You are the only one that understands what you are saying. So you're going to begin to think what is maybe wrong with these people. That's why, because of the low knowledge in the public, that's why the first point of path to care is to go to churches, to go to Muslims, to go to mountains, to seek for spiritual cure or care for them because they think it's a spiritual matter.
So some of these issues are just medical, nothing has to do with spiritual issues.
No. Well, I may not say it's not. It may not be due to spiritual issues because all we know is that there can be mental illness.
So when one discovers the signs or symptoms, so before it deteriorates into something, deeper, should the person? I want you to talk about coping mechanisms now.
Okay.
Is it every time you detect that you go to your mental health specialist, or are there things you can do on your own to get yourself back?
Okay, thank you so much. There are things that we can do to at least to manage a little bit before one goes to the physician or specialist for treatment. But it depends. For example, now if there's a prodrome stage, what I mean by prodrome is those are the subtle signs the person begins to see before the real mental illness begins to manifest. For example, now most of them, 90% of our clients, they have the first thing is to have sleep disruption. If sleep disrupts, one may begin to have, okay, what do I do? If you don't know, you can ask some counselors. They tell you that's what we call sleep hygiene. That person begins to do some little things that makes him sleep. For example, taking warm milk very close to night. You don't take every meal at night. You don't drink alcohol in the night. You don't smoke. You don't. You want to sleep. You go to a very quiet environment, no bright light, and all those things. When you do all those things and they fail, they don't seem working, then that person should approach a specialist, hospital for treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before Femi comes in, when it comes to mental health in the workplace, it seems like employers are, a bit disconnected.
Okay.
All they are just interested in is come do your job that I've paid you to do,
Output,
and move. But let us know or tell the employers now how output and productivity
depend on the mental health.
Exactly.
On the employees.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, the employers should know that the stability of mental health will determine what you do and how well it is done. It's important someone is happy at what he or she does. And if somebody is not happy, there's no way that person can have 100% output in whatever the person does. And you see, in a situation whereby mental health is not stable of an employee, the person will be making mistakes. That's why inside some products, I don't want to mention, you can see some strange things. Maybe due to mistakes because of instability of mental health of people that are working in such companies at that instant. So we're happy. Our productivity will depend on how stable our mental health is. For example, now, if an employee is stable mentally, that person will be productive, will be creative, will be the ability to do well will be there. There will be sense of belonging to that company. For example, even as a doctor too, if you don't have good mental health, that person, there will be, once there are mistakes, there will be complaints of a product that is coming out of that company or establishment. So it's paramount. Without mental health, there can be good productivity.
But what roles can these employers play to ensure that their employees, to support their employees' mental health?
Yes, there are so many things they need to do. They need to improve the working environment. They need to make sure that the work overload, and they need also to make sure that they provide learning and ability of each of the employees professionally. If you're giving them, for example, now when economy changes suddenly, the remuneration tools to change to be commensurate. You understand? You don't overwork them. You don't overwork them. Give them manageable workload. And when anytime they are supposed to do more, you give them more. You remunerate them. And the employers should be positive minded. You don't dwell on the mistakes of workers or employee all the time. Encourage, appreciate the good things they do each time. So all these things we sensitize the employee to make them work better.
You talked about the happiness of an employee is very instrumental to the productivity of the organization.
Yeah.
Now, one we say is in the place, because we are talking to practicality this morning, is in the place of an employer, to make an employee happy. Because some will say, what you have is a contract. You do this for me, I provide this for you. Every 30 days you do this. This is how much I'm going to be giving you, and and there is an agreement. And so, whenever you do that work, you're collecting your pay. We are talking about remuneration now. The employer might say, it's not my place to make you happy. Happiness might be intentional. Whether you are happy or not, there is a part that I have to do, and I'm doing that. Now, if an employee will see from that point of view that you have worked for me, I owe you, and I'm paying you, how can you say your happiness is dependent upon me?
Okay, thank you. You are right, but most times it will not go that way. Or at times, at times it will not go that way, because an employee can ruin a company in a way, because if the employee is not happy, the productivity, the creativity will not come out in full. Most times, these employees, they can serve as a link between the consumers and the employer. They know what they are putting there. For example, where maybe you need to produce biscuit now, and there's a measure of each of the quantities of material you need to put there to make a good biscuit. By the time the person is not happy, he's putting more of one substance than the other. The biscuit will no longer taste biscuit. Yes, when it gets to the consumers. So when the consumers change their mind that, oh, I'm not going for that product again, it's not moving, because people that are buying the local environment, they will no longer coming, or they change their taste. So all these things, the employer will eventually be the receiver of this output. So, but if the employee is happy, he will do things normally. The employer will have a rest of mind. There are so many employers who do not even stay in the country where their companies are. They travel out, and wherever they are, they have rest of mind. But some, they cannot leave because they don't make their employees happy. So, and they work more. Even at night, they won't be able to sleep because death may be coming.
All right. Talking about World Mental Health Day 2024, for those joining us, that's our conversation right now.
Yes.
And it's about the workplace. Now, according to the WHO, let me read part of what it said. It says, safe, healthy working environment can act as a protective factor for mental health.
Yes.
And unhealthy conditions, including stigma, because we're talking about workplace right now, stigma, discrimination, and exposure to risk like harassment and other poor working conditions can pose significant risk affecting mental health, overall quality of life, and consequently participation or productivity at work. Now, how important are these things that the WHO have highlighted? Stigma, discrimination, exposure to harassment, and other poor working conditions. So many persons will say this is the reality of many working persons in Nigeria. But because, what will you have them do? Will you say because of their mental health has been affected, because of these factors, they should leave the job and go to where? But this is what they face daily. So can you help us speak to that? There are people that this is the reality, and many of them have complained, but because of pay, they can't leave. And this is the reality. Let's speak to that this morning.
Thank you so much.
How can they cope?
The moderator. People will, this is a very important topic we are raising in Nigeria system today, because we all know how weak our security system is, and you and I will not want to work in an environment where there's a risk to our lives. So we have too many cases of kidnapping, cases of carrying people, killings up and down, and we see, and the discrimination too. Cases of inequality. Yeah. In stigmatization. Yeah. So it depends on what what is done. Stigmatization and discrimination also in a workplace may not give someone a sense of well-being. Productivity will be low. There won't be creativity. There won't be happiness. There will be fear. There will be undue fearfulness. There will be anxiety. When all these things come up on a person, that person may not work well, and such environment may not be a safe place for good productivity, according to WHO. It's important that the employers know that they need employees need good security system where they are working, so that their minds can be at rest. They can produce the best. They can have the best. You understand? Even for students and all over the world where there's no adequate security, there won't be rest of mind.
Now, we have been taking it from the point of employer to employee. Let's speak to employees among themselves. Maybe a superior to a junior person, and we're talking about stigma, harassment. There are some persons that the moment they wake up in the morning, they want to go to work, but they are not happy going there because they know what they are going to meet. But because of the economic situation of the country, they can't just resign and say, I'm doing this no more.
They will continue because
because they don't have any other choice.
They need to earn a living.
How can they cope? And what would be your advice to them? Will you ask them to resign and find their way elsewhere? But then the thing is to go and do what exactly?
Well, I don't advise the employees to resign. And I don't advise them to leave their job because a bet at hand worth more than two in the bush. Economy is not smiling now. So, but my advice to employees now is that wherever we are, wherever the employees are, they should try and maintain good relationship in the working system. They should find a way of, if the employer is the problem, they should find a way of having a meeting, having a dialogue with their employers. So with the employers, if it's between employee and employees, there should be a system in the company that we have to, like for example now, dispute or conflict resolution team or system to be in any organization where whatever is not making one employee happy to be at work, what is causing him to be afraid to go to work, to be sorted out. There should be a table, an opportunity for them to resolve issues. So all these things can happen among employees, because even where 2 or 3 people are, there are bound to be conflict, there are bound to be disagreement, but all these things can be resolved.
I mean, you're speaking to the human resource angle, and a lot of companies do not have that. The human resource department that actually see to conflict resolution and also see to the welfare of their employees. Yeah. Now let's speak to women at workplace, especially women that are married, women that are mothers. They have to deal with the home and still come to work and still deliver at work. How do you think these women can cope? Or, a woman that just gave birth and probably she had 2 to 3 months maternity leave, but you and I know that 2 to 3 months maternity leave is not enough. How do you think the workplace can help women, especially those still battling PPD, postpartum depression? How do you think the employers can help women at work, have an excellent work-life balance?
Okay, thank you so much. I want to use the opportunity to say that I so much salute the courage of our women. They are wonderful human beings. Even biologically, women are stronger than men. They are stronger. So, but in a way, this is the area where husband and family members will come in actually to assist. And then now, I think it's now operating that maternity leave should be 4 months. But 4 months is not even enough. Now, in a situation whereby a woman that has just given birth after maternity leave has resumed, she needs to resume work, and such a woman needs support, even in the workplace. Opportunities should be given such women to be given less stressful part of job to do at workplace. For example, now a nursing mother who is a nurse in the hospital, who's a staff nurse in the hospital. So immediately after, maybe the woman is resuming work, to be given less assignment, to be supported at that point in time. And I want to appreciate most of our hospitals. They do this for women, and the environment is now becoming more gender friendly, at least towards women now. Yeah, and the husbands too, to wake up to their responsibilities and support these women, because actually they are carrying their babies. So yeah, family members too to wake up and assist them. Women are wonderful; they are great. So they should be given more opportunity, more support, so that the tension of the workload will not be more on them, affect them psychologically, even when they get home.
Okay, I'll ask you this. I'm still with the female gender. I'm a female, so I have to talk about what actually concerns us the most. There have been calls by some women, by the female folks, that we should have what is called menstrual leave. Doctor, you understand what I'm talking. You are not a woman, but you understand what I'm talking about. The first day of menstruation is always somehow very hard for some women. So there have been calls for workplaces, or this should become a law, that the very first day of menstruation for every woman, she should be on leave. How do you react to that? Do you think it's doable in a country like Nigeria? And if it is, to what extent do you think this law should be applicable?
Well, my own personal opinion now. Menstrual period is it's a psychological thing.
Yeah, and it's natural. Nobody chooses it.
Yes.
If you leave it to all women, we won't choose it.
We won't choose it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because even most women hide it.
Sure.
Yeah. They don't want to tell people close to them, if not their husbands, that I'm menstruating, I have menstrual pain, unless people that are very close to them.
Yeah.
So, well, I think it should be rather than being a law in Nigeria, if it's a law, everybody will know when a woman is menstruating. For example, the first day, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. Why? You are menstruating? Okay.
Is it a bad thing?
Well, it's not a bad thing, really.
Yeah.
But the reactions of men, each man differs towards it. So instead of that, I think there should be an understanding between a woman that is menstruating the first day, having menstrual pain, or to discuss with maybe the employer or the colleague or another colleague at work. Oh, sorry, I'm indisposed today. Allow me. I need rest. So I think that's what most women do now. They cover it. They protect themselves. They don't want people to know. They may even say it maybe after the episode. So last week, I had
so essentially, you're saying women should find a support system in their place of work that can help.
Yeah, that can help
instead
them.
of making it legislation.
Like there's it's allowed to have maybe work-free day for yourself because of your health.
Yeah.
Everybody has access to his or her health.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to be at home if you don't feel like coming to work.
It's about your health.
It's about your health.
Instead of narrowing it down as a menstrual thing.
Yeah.
Which can be like a discrimination.
Discrimination. People will begin to look down on you, say, look at it, look at that, look at you. For a month, you at least you'll be absent for 4 days.
Yeah.
And they now say, why should employer pay you the same thing with me?
Which will start another conversation.
Another conversation.
Now, we have to go. Now, but two quick questions here.
Yeah.
According to the WHO, still picking from their rollout, they said it's essential for government, employers, organizations, which represent workers and employers, maybe they are talking about unions now, and other stakeholders responsible for workers' health and safety to work together to improve mental health at work. So they are talking to, instead of asking, the only time you see unions talking is about remuneration and promotion, you should take the mental health of your members important and advocate on anything that might be injurious to it. But they went for that to say, action to address mental health at work should be done with the meaningful involvement of workers and their representatives and persons with lived experience of mental health conditions, which leads me to the question. Somebody exhibiting some mental health issues at the place of work, most of the times, because it's not helpful, it poses a danger to himself and colleagues, most of the times, employers will lay them off because they don't want to associate with this person. Should that be the best thing to do, between an employer and employee? We are not even talking about places of work that are official. Maybe, an unofficial place, artisans, people working together, organization, tailors, many of these persons, or even official places like these are own. The moment somebody is exhibiting those things, they are fired. Should that be the standard procedure?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Or finding a way to help.
Thank you so much, sir. That is not the best way. That is pure discrimination. It's like acting against someone who has HIV. That is discrimination. It's not allowed.
But that person is not useful for the system at that point.
We are not. Why do we wear that conclusion?
Okay.
Or why that generalization that is not useful? Mental health is everybody's issue. Anybody can have mental health challenges.
So what should an employer do?
Or organization
or a union?
A union to come around and help such an individual. Yes, have access to mental health facilities, take the person there. And the person goes there. After a few weeks, the person gets well and come back to work. That's all.
If the person is certified, fine and okay, they should be reabsorbed.
Yes, we
have a society that people begin to look to them, in a kind of way.
No, that is wrong. Even in family, the person should be reabsorbed back into the family without any discrimination. In fact, when we are about to discharge patients, our clients, back to their homes, we tell them the family members do not discriminate against them. For example, now, if you do anybody can be wrong at any point in time. If you do anything wrong, they say, okay, your problem has come again. No. Such statement is not allowed.
Not helpful.
It's not allowed.
Finally, Doctor, because of time, The Guardian, in fact, almost all the papers today are talking about this mental health issue. And there is something, if actually we can have the Guardian newspaper on our screen again. And frustration, hardship sink more Nigerians into depression. We're talking about general factors now. They say life expectancy is at 56.
Okay.
The nation is multidimensionally poor, at least 63% of the nation. Okay. Inflation is at 32%.
Okay.
There are people with natural disasters, like at least in Borno. Now, 1.8 million persons have been affected. Unemployment rate, 5.3%. More Nigerians are now borrowing to feed, not to work, not to do business, to feed. And just yesterday, corn price has been increased to 1,030 naira per litre at NNPC filling station. So, private businesses operating filling stations will operate more, and health facilities see 200% rise in mental cases. And many persons are saying government and their policies, they are the biggest threat to our mental health. Do you agree as a Nigerian with all these factors?
Okay. Well, I don't have a choice than to agree. Anyway, because most of these policies come down to the general masses, to the masses. When one wakes up in the morning and begin to read all those information, that person feels bad. No matter how much you have in your bank account, because you know that the quantity or the quality of what you can achieve with what you have, the amount you have, is reducing every day.
So how do we cope? And I'll take that as your parting shot. Yes. What can we do? These are the things thrown at us. This is where we are found ourselves.
We are in it.
What can we do?
Wake up, we sleep by it, we wake up by it, by them. So what we need to do is to just be hopeful that a better day is coming. Because without doubt, there's no choice.
Doctor, can I tell you the truth?
Yes.
Because we are the mirror of the society.
Yeah.
Many Nigerians are not seeing that hope. Even if the government is talking about renewed hope, the hope is diminishing.
So if you don't have that, then
Because this is our reality.
then problem will be multiplying.
See, hopeful?
Yes, we need to be hopeful. We just need to. That's why that's one of the functions of our religion. In the Bible, you see it. In the Quran, you see it that my tomorrow will be all right.
As a psychiatrist, so what do you tell us?
As a psychiatrist, well, we need to just take it cool because and manage the little that we have.
Interesting one there. We
Thank you.
want to thank you. Dr. Charles Abedide, Ayodele Abedide, consultant psychiatrist with Union Osun Teaching Hospital. Thank you for your time. And we hope periodically we'll be seeing you here to have discussions with us, because this is one topic that we should keep having, so that the mention of the word mental health, people will not be thinking it's only naked people on the streets that we are referring to. Thank you, and to the enemy as well, for having you here with us. And this is where we take the sports at the first hang of this program, where we'll come back to speak to another topical issue and what somebody is doing, to send a message in that particular regard. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, right here at Beaming Live on Channel 190 Star Times TTT. Stay with us. The program will continue.
I am Josh Too Funny. I'm a comedian and I like to make people laugh.
Fly up.
But it's not funny that we're losing our unique gorillas. We only have around 100 left, and they are threatened by habitat loss and traps set for bushmeat. So please say no to illegal bushmeat, because protecting nature protects us all.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered, because your girls got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Ahmadu Bello, a Prince Royal, was born 6th of December 1910 at Raba Village, Sokoto, northwestern Nigeria. His father was a district head and heir apparent to the Sultanate throne from the house of Usmanu Danfodio, a religious and social reformer who brought the Habib dynasty under the Fulani Caliphate in the beginning of the 19th century. Ahmadu Bello raised the bar of political consciousness in participation when, in 1944, he engineered the establishment of the Northern People's Congress (NPC) as the first political party in northern Nigeria and the rallying point for politicians in the region before independence. History will not forget Ahmadu Bello for his charisma and political sagacity, which provided easy passage for his kinsmen to assume political and administrative positions in Nigeria's post-independence era. The distinguished elder statesman and Sardauna of Sokoto has his face on his country's 200 naira currency as a mark of honor to one of the architects of Nigeria's independence. Western Spring Television identifies Ahmadu Bello as a watershed character in history.
Can you imagine the feeling when you get your news as they break with facts and clarity? Our news are reported as it is.
In Africa, and all those who masterminded the way it happened will have to pay a price.
Enjoy Western programs, projecting culture and tradition to the world. Brought to you as the break and recapped every hour for your update.
Fellow Nigeria, how to improve your welfare is of paramount importance to me.
Produced and brought to you in a unique way never before seen.
Western Spring
and Western Spring Television. Television is coming home in your color and culture.
Up to 75% of all new human diseases come from animals. Ebola, anthrax, and monkeypox all came from animals. And as more dead wild animals are being transported to our cities, we risk introducing another disease outbreak. This will affect our health, economy, and well-being. So say no to illegal bushmeat, because protecting nature protects us all.
Silver Spring today, and we started up with medical issue. You know, it's World Mental Health Day today, and we are moving on to another observance day on Saturday. That's the World Arthritis Day, referred to as WAD, and it's a global awareness day held every year on the 12th of October. WAD aims to raise awareness in all audiences across the world of the existence and impact of rheumatic and musculoskeletal diseases, often referred to as RMDs. World Arthritis Day, celebrated every 12th of October 2024, and the theme for this year is Knowledge is Power, Informed Choices, Better Outcomes. This morning, we will be interviewing a young Nigerian who has taken it upon himself to raise awareness about this World Arthritis Day as a result of some of his past experiences. Owolabi Anuoluwapo is a health advocate, and he has a passion for cycling. And come 12th of October, he will be riding from Lagos to Osun State, Osogbo, the state capital, to raise an awareness of on the World Arthritis Day. Good morning to you, Anuoluwapo. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, it's nice to have you here. Now, tell us, what influenced your decision to go on this journey, especially on a day to commemorate the World Arthritis Day? Let us into your journey.
Okay, so firstly, thank you for having me. So what actually prompted me to about this initiative is that I started cycling about 2 years ago, and because I'm also a media person, so in the office I get to sit a long hour, and then I have this swelling leg, and also while I was trying to do a very big thing, right? So I found out that in my grandma, you know, she experienced something around, even though I don't know what it is back then, but I later I was able to join the dots together, and I found out that she have arthritis, and also and for things that I experienced, and while at work and all of that. So I found like arthritis is real, and it's as a cyclist, and I also find out that bicycle is one of the a very good tools that can be used to manage it. So I just felt like, okay, I think it would be a very nice and a good initiative to raise awareness, because I found out that a lot of people are not aware about this, and they some people even have having symptoms, and they don't know that is arthritis, right? So, and as a cyclist, as a media person, I just feel like, okay, it is a good idea. I should make this known to the world in my own way, by riding from Lagos to Osogbo. So also I had to do some research, and I feel like, okay, I think it's the best thing to do. So that is why I'm doing this, to raise awareness about arthritis and how it can be managed, right?
So you had arthritis. What year was that?
I can't, not really that I have arthritis, but I used to have a leg swelling, like sitting in the office for like hours and all. So this was around 2020 to 2021. Yeah.
Okay, and that pushed you into going into cycling. You started cycling
right
in 2021.
2020, 2021. Yes, right.
2021. So how has the experience been?
Oh, fantastic! I mean, amazing, and cycling has a whole lot of benefits. So I can say that I've enjoyed it all round, from good sleep to I get to exercise my whole body, and also some other things, even in connecting with friends, also new friends and stuff like that. So cycling has over the years has had a lot of values, and also in terms of values, what I'm about to do now, which is to raise awareness about arthritis and how bicycle can help in managing it.
I mean, on the human side, economically, you don't have to pay for fuel, right?
Exactly, right.
So
yeah,
that's a major advantage too, Femi.
All right, Anu Oluwapo, good to meet you, by the way. But then some will say, yes, it's good that you are raising the awareness, because we know what this does to people, inhibiting their mobility, some pains that comes with it, because it's a joint thing. Many of them can't really move, swellings, just like you say you experienced at a point in time. These are the issues, and it's good that you are putting it out there. Maybe this can be prevented. Maybe this could be helped, in a kind of way. So it's a good one. But many persons will say, must you cycle, ride from Lagos to Osogbo or Osun State to make that point? You can as well put stuff online. You're a media personality, you can still raise the awareness online. My question is, how important do you think is that journey, that ride from Lagos to Osogbo will be to these raising of the awareness and knowing the risk on the way with trucks here and there?
Okay, so it's a good question. So because the reason why is I guess I could have chosen any other way to raise awareness, but going this route, the journey alone, it's about telling the story that is not something that that the disease or the pain will go quickly. It's something because what I'm about to do is called endurance ride. So now this also is telling a story that trying to paint a picture that it's a gradual process, right? So when you get on the bike, especially if your doctor recommend that if it's a joint, that it's your artery, because we have all that types of arthritis, so if your doctor recommend that you get on the bike to as a tools to manage it, right? So it doesn't go away immediately you get on the bike. It takes a process. I mean, it's a gradual process. It's just the management. It's not the final cure, right? And even for those that that don't have arthritis, right, it helps to exercise the body. So the reason why it's important, for me to ride or what's the word now, to that the significance of riding from Lagos to Osogbo is that the reason why I choose Osogbo is that like I said, it's endurance, right? And people have to understand it's a gradual process. And Osogbo has been my base for a long time. I schooled there. My parents, my grandparents, they live there, so, and I felt like, okay, Osogbo, it's, like I said earlier, my grandma, she stays in Osogbo, so there was a time she has all these symptoms, and we don't even know that it's arthritis, right? So, and I felt like it will also, and I was also, as a media person, along the way as we're joining, there are going to be media present, there'll be live stream. So it's not just about the bicycle ride. So the more longer time you spend on the road, like people get like, okay, what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So and they'll
They
get
see you
to
and they
know
ask questions
about
and you talk
what
about it.
we
All
are
right.
trying to, the message you are trying to
But because of
preach,
time,
and
the
likes like that.
Yeah. Let me ask you, have you gone on such a journey before via bicycle?
Yes. I've done more than, but I also have done Lagos to Osogbo once.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. On the flip side, while you're educating and you're creating awareness, is there any type of record you are hoping to set with this? Or it's just about advocacy and education?
Oh, not sure. We are trying to. I mean, we plan to also provide bicycle for people in Osogbo. Yeah. So, and also for arthritis patients now, try to part of our plan is to get them drugs. Those that have already have the kind of drug they are using, that they are on, so we can help to sort out the fund for those drugs. So that's part of it. It's not just about the awareness, but also we provide help for people.
All right. You know, the important part is that provision of bicycle for people, especially at this time, they will need it.
Yeah,
and I know what I'm saying.
Of course. So in as much as we are looking forward to you riding from Lagos to Osogbo come Saturday, we also are interested in your safety. So I'd like to ask you, do you have any safety measures in place? Do you have any medical team that would attend to you while you're on this journey, or is just going to be you, yourself, and you?
Yeah, no. It's I have a medical team on my patrol vehicle.
Okay.
And also, I'm not going to be riding alone, so I have supports from other cyclists from the Korodu boys.
Right.
So they are joining me to support, to make it well also, and also we having a security police, and then also the media people that for the escort. So just to make the awareness go proper.
All right. And where will be your landing point in Osogbo?
So when we get to Oshogbo, our first point is Abiri. So we start from Abiri. So we have a sound setup there that a move what's going on Korokwe, right? That have a sound in it that will, there's a audio message that we already programmed that as we're moving, it plays along. So we're riding from Abiri. Then we stop a bit at Old Governor's office, and then we stop a bit at Old Garage. We are going to stay a while at Old Garage because there are crowd there.
Yeah.
So we're going to stop at Old Garage for a while, but our final destination is Stadium. Yeah.
Okay.
Like how many hours will this take? Have you surveyed and found it out from Oshogbo to? From Lagos to Oshogbo by bicycle, and all the stops you have on the road. Like, how many hours are you looking at?
Okay, the first time I did Lagos to Oshogbo, I spent 6 hours on the bike. So, and then because I was trying to show proof, because a lot of people don't believe that thing can happen, right? So I just had to do some content, and I had to stop for a bit to do some other things, and then total, I spent 8 hours to get to Oshogbo. Because we're not really having too much stop. We're going straight, and then also my bike has been enhanced, it's more lighter to go faster. So we target to get to Oshogbo with other media paparazzi and all. So we plan to get to Oshogbo within 7 hours. Yeah.
All right. Anwoluwapo Simi Abraham Owolabi, we wish you all the best in your endeavor come Saturday, and also we wish you safety. That's very paramount from here. Driving from Lagos to Oshogbo, it's a big deal, and what you intend to do, giving out bicycles and also creating awareness of arthritis to people, is a really huge project, and we wish you all the best from here.
Thank you.
All right, that's the conversation. Spending 6 hours. For me, it's not that.
That's not better.
It's not, because if you're using car from Oshogbo to Lagos,
like
and you now get to the Long Bridge, you now have to use 3 hours in hold up. At the end of the day, you spend 6 hours from Oshogbo to Lagos. So, Femi, do you want to get
I hope
a
he has
bicycle?
all his particulars because of stoppage on the road.
Do you want to get your bicycle?
Leave me and my destiny for now on this matter.
Of course, it's a good one. You remember we had Palumi Nubi also did that from London to Lagos by car. And now we have someone cycling from Lagos to Oshogbo on his bicycle. We hope he is able to get
spread
through.
a message.
Yes,
not just for record.
To spread a message. It's a good thing. We wish him all the best. And this is where we pull the brakes here on Morning Spring for today. Ensure to watch this recap on our YouTube channel, Western Spring TV. Connect with us on our different social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Western Spring Television. My name is Evelyn Ohiole, and I will not end without reminding you to stay tuned for Spring Trends coming right after this broadcast.
And of course, Femi Ojo is my name. We'll be back tomorrow, God willing, for the TGF edition, which is going to be a very, very special one, by the way. Tomorrow is the International Day of the Girl Child. So this place will be pinky.
You're wearing your pink already today.
Sure. No,
I was wondering why your tie is pink.
This is a peach. By the way, the tie is pink, but there is enough pink to go around.
Okay, so tomorrow will be pinky.
Come on. Don't,
You're going to see
don't
a
expose my
pinky
stitch
Femi
on this
tomorrow.
And steez rather, on this particular one. Drawing that inspiration from Manolo Luwapo, I think we should pick a particular legacy that we have to leave us, especially on the positive. Big shout out to the Backroom Boys. We'll see you tomorrow, God willing.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
This iconic African presents the narrative of a man destined to exert an imperishable global influence in Western education. His was a story of a freeborn, captured and sold into slavery. He was born in Oshogun, a native Yoruba village near Iseyin in Okeogun axis of southwest Nigeria. Samuel Ajayi Crowther was the foundation student of Fora Bay College, Sierra Leone, the foremost university where the pioneer set of native Africans were educated. Samuel Ajayi Crowther's greatest contribution to humanity was his translation of the Holy Bible into the Yoruba language. The man who authored the Yoruba dictionary was also credited with the translation of English classic hymns into Yoruba and the Ekwere languages. Samuel Ajayi Crowther's private residence in Badagry, incidentally the first story building in Nigeria, is an archival museum dedicated to the memory of Africa's first bishop. Western Spring Television identifies Samuel Ajayi Crowther as a watershed character in history.
Since assuming the mantle of leadership in Osun, the state of the Living Spring, Governor Ademola Adeleke has left no one in doubt about his avowed commitment to the overall development of the state. The footprints of his transformative agenda span through education, transportation, health, staff welfare, social infrastructure, among others. Living Spring Update, a weekly diary on Rave 91.7 FM and Western Spring Television, channel 190 StarTimes DTT, will extract Governor Adeleke's development agenda for your listening and viewing pleasure. From the bustling market to innovative agricultural initiatives, from the testimonies of civil servants and retirees to the cheers of artisans across the state of the Living Spring, you will discover how Governor Adeleke's administration is driving the economic growth of the state. Stay informed and engaged with Living Spring Update, where we will delve deep into the details of ongoing infrastructural projects, new initiatives in healthcare, education, and other impactful strides being made across the state. Tune in every Wednesday on Western Spring Television at 6 p.m. and every Saturday on Rave 91.7 FM at exactly 2:30 p.m. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Western Spring Television and at Rave 917 FM as we tell the story of how Governor Adeleke is shaping Osun into the beacon of development and opportunity.
Living Spring Update is a production of the Office of the Spokesperson to the Governor, Governor's Office, Oshogbo.
Fewer than 400 elephants are surviving in this country today, and they're still being poached for their ivory. Elephants can be a major draw for our tourism if we protect them. So please tell your family and friends, report all wildlife crimes, and stop the sale of ivory, because protecting nature protects all of us.
All right, welcome to Spring Trends this Thursday morning. Thank you for joining us in another edition. Here we'll talk about issues trending on social media. My name is Evelyn Ohiola, and of course we get to read reactions of people from here. Femi is right by my side. I don't know what's happening. Why are you adjusting your shirt? You're fine. You're fine.
No, that one is a rhetoric. This thing.
These are the issues. Proud people everywhere.
No, it's a follow. Have you
thank
seen?
you.
Wait,
Nigerians, what would it take you to say thank you?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. But have you seen one single Femi we no find before? Show me one.
I don't see you.
Which one is it?
I don't see you.
Which one?
I don't see.
I mean, I see you. They talk about.
I not talk. Now you talk.
You have changed your job.
Now you talk.
Have you seen the steez of Adefila?
Did I mention name?
Why are you putting your hands up?
Do you know if it is Femi that is in heaven?
Maybe you are from Edo State.
Do you know whether it's Femi that is in heaven?
Which your Femi is in heaven?
There's a Femi I know that is no longer
alive. Femi
Awolowo. Baba Fino. Forget.
With the steez.
All right, let's move on because we have limited time today. Very first story is what Nigerians woke up to or were thrown at them yesterday. New NNPCL pump price, is alarming. As you can see, the queues are so long, and still they have to buy at an outrageous price. We hear that Lagos is selling for 998 naira, the Southwest 1,025 naira, Abuja is selling at 1,030 naira, the Southeast 1,045 naira, the South 1,075 naira, and the Northeast 1,070 naira. This is from the NNPC station, fueling station. Let's take reactions at Dim and Neck. She says, which Southeast is 1,035 naira? It has been 1,300 naira since last month. All right, Dim, I hope you understand they are talking about NNPCL stations. So it's possible that other fueling stations have been selling for 1,300 naira before now. And Ochuko family, I mean, he had to put that meme there. Wait till South that produces the crude oil has the highest pump price, and it's shame for us when be South people. Yes. And Pascal Ndubisi says, wait, I'm not understanding this. At this point, English is not Englishing. I'm not understanding this. Can someone explain to me how South that has the oil pays more for it than other regions? And Abubakar Nikau says, Tinubu with the exclamation mark. Our prayers to you is that you should succeed with this, your economic reform. If not, you have automatically removed not only you, but your generation from the good eyes of Nigerians. Instead of things to start getting better, it's becoming harder by the day. Femi, the thought.
It's shame one, shame two, shame three. First position, shame. Second position, shame. Third position, shame. The policymakers that have landed us there. How can you explain it? Actually, how? May 29, 2023, 180 naira, 200 naira per liter. September, October 9, 2024, 1,030 naira, 1,075 naira, depending on the region.
And this is NNPC fueling station.
Of course. So how many outlets does NNPC have in any, there are some states that maybe it's the only capital, the state capital that has NNPC, or maybe some of the major towns.
Yeah.
How many? Now, it's the independent marketers that owns most of the private stations, and they can't sell at this particular price. So it gets to be in Nigeria, producing nation. This big brother thing, where they call us, say we be senior man for Africa, look like so. Because Libya was a relatively peaceful country. Then the Saddam Hussein thing and everything around it, and then the war that happened, with everything that has befallen Libya, I can tell you they are still living fine. The currency is stronger, very much stronger than the naira. What's the big brother thing we're always pulling when it comes to maybe in sport? Even that sport is not sport. We are not on number 1 to 3 in soccer again. Maybe it's only basketball and the senior team that we are trying to do something. These are you went to the Olympics now zero. What will they do? I'm telling you, it's a shame. Really, the dollar to naira, you don't even want to go there, except you are somebody who has the business. So what exactly is working? Except rice. Rice and rice. And that rice, no, I'm talking about palliative.
Oh, okay.
And that rice is always audio. I never see one like this. And I know they live for GRA. Now, among the people they live. So now, here we are.
Yeah.
Increase chef. That meme of Chef Pawani. This is the, I saw a video yesterday. A clip of somebody said this is the true position of Nigerians right now. Nozzle to somebody's throat, and the throat was so dried because they are sucking life out of the people. And we said yesterday, you don't have to own a car to be affected by this particular situation because everything around it is about PMS. What else do you want Nigerians to do? I'm hoping, really, we are hopeful. At the previous program, somebody spoke to us and said we should be hopeful, but where's the hope? We just be positive about life, but then I hope these things. I saw some of the, a particular individual that saw with his whole heart, with the ADC, saying, with that happened yesterday, said, let's talk the truth. He hopes the handlers of the government and everything, everybody around this, they are now pushing people to the level that, in fact, nobody could tell anybody again. And we want a nation that works. But this is not how a nation works. I told you about how Senate President was saying, he's appealing to Nigerians, not to Japan. Because if it's not for the love of the country, he
will not be here.
He won't be here. It's because of the love of the country that is here. And these are the issues. And people that thought about the South, paying the most for the product is because you don't have a depot. The depot is in Lagos. Dangote Refinery is in Lagos. Before it gets to the South, but I don't know how it works because the Northeast is quite farther from Lagos than the South. How long is Benin, for example, to Lagos, Warri to Lagos, Yenagoa to Lagos? So somebody going from Lagos to Damaturu, Lagos to somewhere in Borno State. Listen, I don't know how this thing works, but Lagos will always have a relatively cheaper price. And finally, you saw that queue. Almost 30 seconds or 1 minute of traveling or somebody. You saw how many cars. These are people's fathers, people's mothers. Productive, you see it now.
How can people be productive?
How can they be productive?
They're supposed to be at their places
and
of work.
Sure me die. Some of these people no go get them before they lock that station.
Exactly.
They are just there. You go, when they open gate for you like this, I will say, po, 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 and that person will get home. And imagine somebody in this queue, you now get home, and your wife will now say something is not something.
We just have to, keep up hopes.
Okay.
But it's a sad situation, by the way. We move on to the next story this morning. Let's talk security. We hear from the IG of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, that there will be payment of 10 million naira each to the families of the police officers who died in a fatal motor accident in Kano State. Remember those accidents, those officers rather, that lost their lives in that fatal motor accident. Let's take reactions right now. NBM says, what are the families of other individuals who are not part of the police system who died as well? And Pisces Stoner